This is part 3. I'm going to continue. I found a document entitled The Great IRS Hoax, Why We Don't Owe Income Tax, version 4.54. And it goes from chapter 8, definitions. I'm going to go to that, but first I'm going to go here. And like I said, I'm just going to set definitions, and then the actions will show whether something is of the devil or not. So, I'm going to go to Ephesians 5:11. It said, have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. So that's why I don't claim, when they make these fraudulent claims saying that you're this and you're that. No, I'm not. I have the right to utilize services. I have the right to receive this and to do that based on treaties, the law of the land, the original, based on the original Constitution for the United States of America. This is basically all. Everything is basically to the original people, the indigenous people. The rights of indigenous people. Then I went to, it was more definitions of the characteristics of the devil, but I'm going to just read about a couple of them. It says, Satan is an oppressor. 1 Peter 8:5 and 8 says that he is like a roaring lion, walking about seeking. Okay, let's look at the time. Like a roaring lion, walking about seeking who he may devour. It is Satan's goal to hunt down the believer and pin him down in sin. After becoming a child of Elo, Satan becomes your adversary. He takes your faith in Elo as a personal act of opposition towards him, and therefore takes it upon himself to hunt you down and trap you in sin as a form of warfare. Although he knows that the believer's salvation cannot be lost, he finds some satisfaction in tormenting the saint for the allegation to Yahweh. No, this, like I said, I'm just reading this right here. Like I said, this is not all inclusive. It may not all be true, but this is, you get the gist of what it is saying. It says, Satan is a perverter. To pervert is to distort or change something from its original or intended use. Satan distorts what has been given by Elo to man for his blessing and benefit. There is no blessing from Elo that Satan does not distort. Many times Satan distorts the truth of Elo's word, so man has a misunderstanding of some important attributes. Consider these laws that we're talking about. He distorts them from their original use to enslave you, which is not lawful nor legal. But he tries to do it through legal fiction. But then you see that all estates and estates has been given back to the people free of any debt. So it has no land, it has no legs to stand on. Let's see. This is one of Satan's top goals. He hopes that he can lead someone astray rather than them submitting to the authority of the Most High Elo. So, how is it lawful? First of all, you have the de facto, the foreign corporation, which is only a corporation. Like I said, we always use the words. Going to the market, going to the store, going to Walmart, going to whatever store you go to, they have no right to tell you you can't enter and exit. You have no obligation, you don't have to pledge allegiance to go inside any of those places. You just go get what you want and leave. Now, what they do has nothing to do with you. That's their actions. You didn't agree to none of that. So if someone causes a problem, sets you up, causes a problem, blames you because you was ignorant, and didn't know any better, and then comes out to the other side and accuses you, when all of the actions was fraudulent in the first place because it was null and void, because nobody gave you full disclosure of what was going on, how can they hold you accountable? Like I said, I'm not gonna read this whole document, but it's called "The Great IRS Hoax: Why We Don't Owe Income Tax," version 4.54. I'll just go across some definitions. It says one is coercion, compulsion, constraint, compelling by force or arms or threat. General Motors versus Belvins, D.C., I guess it's Colorado 144. F supplement 381, 384. It may be actual, direct, or positive, as where physical force is used to compel, act against one's will, or implied, legal, or constructive, as where one party is constrained by subjugation to another to do what his free will would refuse. As used to testamentary law, any pressure by which testator's actions is restrained against his free will in the execution of his testament. Coercion that vitiates confession can be mental as well as physical, and question is whether accused was deprived of his free choice to admit, deny, or refuse to answer. Garrity versus State of New Jersey, USNJ 385, US 49387, South Court, S Court, 616-618-17 LED 2nd 562. A person is guilty of criminal coercion if, with purpose to unlawfully restrict another's freedom of action to its detriment, he threatens to A. commit any criminal offense, or B. accuse anyone of a criminal offense, C. expose any secret tending to subject any person to hatred, contempt, or ridicule, or to impair his credit or business repute, D. take or withhold action as an official, or cause an official to take or withhold action. Model Pen Code 212.5. Let's see. You see, all of these things are things that they're subject to against the right of the people. Color. Pretense of official right to do an act made by one who has no such right. The District of Columbia, the foreign de facto corporation called the United States, which is separate from the land called America today, Northwest South Africa, Northwest South America, or South and North America, Northwest America, Turtle Island, North America. An act under the color of office is an act of any officer who claims authority to do the act by reason of his own office, when the office does not confer on him any such authority. Color of office, a claim or assumption of a right to do an act by virtue of an office made by a person who is legally destitute of such right. Feller versus Gates, and it goes on and on. Okay. Common right. Right derivative from common law. Compel. The following definitions are offered for the word compel. These definitions bear direct on any arguments having to do with the exercise of the Fifth Amendment right as pertaining to the filing of income tax returns. to urge forcibly under extreme pressure. The word compelled, as used in constitutional right to be free from being compelled in a criminal case to be a witness against oneself, means to be subjected to some coercion, fear, terror, inducement, trickery, or threat, either physically or psychologically, bluntly or subtly. The hallmark of compulsion is presence of some operative force producing an involuntary response. U.S. versus Eskandar, CAFAL 465F 2D 438442. The Random House Dictionary of English Language defines compel as following. 1. To force, drive, especially to course of action. 2. To secure or bring about by force. 3. To force, to submit, subdue, to overpower. All right. Next one.